Life Story, Part 1, 1500 words. In the quiet valleys of Nepal, where the mountains touched the sky and silence carried untold stories, a boy named Arjun was born. His birth was not celebrated with luxury or wealth. There were no golden cradles, no expensive gifts, no proud relatives bringing bags of money. His family was poor, struggling even for daily bread. But his mother, holding him close, whispered, "One day, you will rise higher than these mountains." Arjun's childhood was not like others. While some kids played with toys, he played with broken sticks and stones. While others ate sweets from the market, he often slept hungry. His clothes were old, his shoes torn, but his heart carried dreams bigger than his village. He would look at the sky and think, why did God make life so unfair? And yet, deep inside, a voice always replied, because you were born to fight, not to give up. From an early age, he worked harder than his age demanded. Every morning he carried water from the well, helped his father in the fields, and then rushed to school with a bag that carried more hope than books. The children in school laughed at him. His pen was half broken, his notebook was secondhand, but his determination was sharper than any sword. One day while sitting in class, his teacher asked, "What do you want to be in life?" The other students shouted, "Doctor, engineer, pilot." When it was Arjun's turn, he stood up and said calmly, "I want to be remembered." The class burst into laughter. Even the teacher gave a half smile, thinking it was just a childish dream. But Arjun's eyes did not blink. His words were not a joke. He meant every single letter. Life, however, is not kind to dreamers. As Arjun grew older, his struggles multiplied. His father fell ill, leaving the family with no steady income. The weight of responsibility fell on his young shoulders. He worked after school, carrying bricks at construction sites, cleaning shops, even polishing shoes on the roadside. People mocked him, saying, "This boy wants to change the world but cannot even afford dinner." At night, when others slept peacefully, Arjun studied under the dim light of a street lamp because his house had no electricity. The buzzing of mosquitoes and the cold winds of Nepal's nights were his companions. Sometimes he cried, not because of the hardships, but because of the fear that maybe he would fail. Yet each tear dried with a whisper, "Even if I fall 100 times, I will rise one more." During his teenage years, he faced his darkest battles. He lost friends who betrayed him. He experienced love that ended in heartbreak. He failed exams he thought he had prepared for. He even questioned his worth, wondering if the world would ever notice him. At one point, depression crawled into his heart like poison. He wore a smile in public but fought demons in silence. He looked in the mirror and sometimes saw nothing but emptiness staring back. But Arjun discovered something powerful in those moments of loneliness. Pain can either break you or build you. He chose the second. He started reading books borrowed from libraries, absorbing wisdom like a sponge. He studied the habits of successful people, the leaders, the innovators, the legends. He realized one common truth: discipline creates destiny. So he built a new life around discipline. He woke up before sunrise, no matter how tired he was. He wrote his goals every single day on a torn piece of paper. He trained his mind to resist distractions, friends who wasted time, people who mocked him, and habits that killed progress. He exercised his body, not for muscles, but for strength and energy. Slowly, results appeared. His grades improved, his body grew stronger, and his confidence returned. The same boy who once doubted himself started speaking with courage. Teachers noticed him. Neighbors admired him. Some who once insulted him now copied his habits. But Arjun never forgot his silent nights under the street lamp. Those nights had carved him into who he was becoming. Arjun worked harder than ever before. He took part-time jobs, studied late nights, and learned skills beyond books: communication, leadership, business, and even digital work. People called him crazy for working 16 hours a day, but he smiled because he knew that while they laughed, he was building his empire silently. The turning point came when he failed a big exam. Everyone thought it was the end of his journey. Relatives mocked his family. Friends disappeared. For 3 days, he locked himself in his small rented room. No food, no sleep, only silence. On the 4th day, he stood up, looked in the mirror and said, "I am not my failures, I am my persistence." That single decision changed everything. He applied again, worked harder than ever, and this time he passed with flying colors. That victory was not just an exam result, it was proof that resilience defeats destiny. Years passed and Arjun slowly climbed the ladder of life. He went from a poor village boy to a respected man in society. But the real success was not the money he earned or the clothes he wore. The real success was the transformation of his soul, from a boy who once cried in silence to a man who now inspired thousands. His life became a message. Your struggles are your strength, your failures are your teachers, your pain is your weapon, and your discipline is your superpower. Arjun now stood in front of crowds giving speeches, motivating the youth of Nepal and beyond. He no longer wanted to be just successful. He wanted to be remembered as the boy who turned his scars into stars. And so the first part of his journey ends here, not with a full stop, but with a comma. Because life is not about reaching one peak, it is about climbing endlessly. And Arjun knew, the higher he climbed, the more people he could pull up with him. Part 1, 1500 words.
इस वीडियो अच्छी लगी हो तो सब्सक्राइब दिस माय यूट्यूब चैनल, प्लीज़ लाइक शेयर एंड सब्सक्राइब दिस माय वीडियो। नए अपडेट के लिए हमारे यूट्यूब चैनल को सब्सक्राइब करें।